Alrighty, so today is a pretty good day. Should have just finished trading at 11 after that. Didn't really make good trades. I saw some opportunity, didn't really capitalize on the way I should have, but we'll go over that now. Just overall SPY chart, again, we held this 126 area, 127, gapped up above the previous resistance of this little flag that we had, and kind of consolidated all day long with some 129 support. So let's see what happens tomorrow. I would like to see some more follow through instead of just more consolidation, but we'll get to that when it gets there, I guess. All right, so Netflix, it has been in place since the 4th. It was gapped lower, and then went from red to green on some, had a pretty nice move in the pre-market. Made a couple plays, I believe. Notably, I was down $40 on it on 2,000 shares, so it wasn't really much. Main trade I'm going to go over is this here. Let's see, 94.50. Alright, so you see this little area here, saw little buyers here, it broke, went back up, then again you saw the buyers and they're hidden, and you can see them by the white prints, and for some reason, I thought of shorting it, a little double top, I guess, when the buyer dropped. Again, you saw the buyers there. I tried it twice in a little bit of volume, on a little bit of size, wanted to add when it was below 50, got stopped out on both. When I realized there's really a buyer there, should have got long at this 94.50. Even when it was here, the offer couldn't really hold below. The offer couldn't really hold below the 50-cent mark, and you'll see a bunch of white prints. So that was kind of the tell there's a buy there. You could have gone long here out if the offer actually held below 50 cents for a while. Target first of 95 with some resistance, and then the VWAP, I believe, at that time was like 95.5 and then 96. So that was a pretty decent play that I messed up on. Besides that, I played Tiffany. Really just the shenanigans here, 60 seller. Just got chopped around on it. It went up here, went back, tried buying it, dropped, I got out. Tried shorting it, hit out a little before it lifted. The play here is just get out if, get short, get out if it holds above, and just try to hold for new lows. But this is really choppy. This isn't really a stock that I like to trade. Just, when there's a huge sell, a lot of volume being done at a certain number. And then lifts, and then comes back, lifts, comes back, and then holds, and then drops. Just a bunch of shenanigans that I don't want to be a part of. Made $1.50 on that stock somehow. GMCR. Alright, so GMCR, my trades, I had this whole up move here, so I started buying a little bit of pullback. So I accumulated when I saw bids kind of hold and drop. So, the down moves weren't that bad. I started accumulating, very small size into a pullback, and then the plan was to add when I have a higher low, or a significant buyer, so it show up on the tape. I started buying around here. Again, bought some more when the 60 cents held, I believe it was, or here. No, it was this held. I think it was the 50-cent mark, and then 60 held. So I bought a little bit more there. Quickly sold small into this. Bought back 70 cents here. Again, all out below 50 cents. I was really looking for, this is a bullish flag forming. I was really looking for a move to new highs of, the target of 49 eventually. Finally, it did pop up to here, and I thought it was actually going to go at that point. And, I tried not to get greedy. I sold very, very small at the stop to get out if the 50 dropped. Eventually, it did go back. I did buy some back at the support level around the 60 area, and then got out when it dropped. Just because I took some profits when it popped, even though it was a little bit, like per risk to reward, I did take some off when it popped just to lock some in, so when it came back I still had a net, like closed P&L was positive. So even if I would have gone stopped out, I still somehow made $4 net. I was probably down on it, but gross I made $4 on it. Yeah, so this 50-cent guy was there, was trying to buy the pullback. Probably should have taken more off here. I only took off a fifth. I probably should have taken off 2/3, maybe even a half. Would have made some pretty decent dough there. Looking for new highs. Probably wait for it to hold higher for me to add. Overall, it was a pretty decent play. I locked some in so that I wouldn't get shaken out and still pretty much break even on the trade. And it was a good trade in my book, at least. I like the trade. Again, probably should have sold more. I was looking for new highs, and if it did go new highs, it would have paid out very nicely. But it didn't. But my risk was still, for the most part, eliminated in the trade. Finally, Lulu. I have the tape on it, which we'll be going over after I do just the basic chart stuff. Pretty much right off the open, you saw this is like a little 60 level. It dropped right off the open. You saw a little buying here, like at 79. I believe I got a little long there. Quickly sold into 60. I quickly bought a little bit of 60, like right off here when it started buying, like a small scalp for I believe 20 cents. And then it would come back to 60, hold the bid, do some buying, and I'll buy a little bit, sell some when I'll see a little resistance or when the bids drop, and try to play the little range. I usually would take a quarter. I didn't get the 40s. I believe I wanted to get the 40s, but I didn't get filled. But it came back again. Just try and take 20 cents here, 20 cents there, and finally, after getting tested so much, and also the bids started holding higher here at 05 in this little area. After being tested so much, for me at least, I want to see it test again and do a little bit of volume. And I'll pay for like 05s, 06s. It's better for me to do that than to get a really good price at 60 and have the slippage, because which is such a big buyer here. There's gonna be a lot of slippage to get out. And I did have some here. I did sell some in the 20s. Then again, I saw it here and the bid dropped. Finally, 60 dropped. Hit out. I believe I got 60s or something very shitty. Wasn't too bad because it rebid it again at 60. I just paid for some. Again, paid when it broke above this little range here. Held out, sold some, I believe, 65s into this area when it kind of stalled. Again, sold some more around this little area for a pretty decent trade. Again, with the rebids, been seeing it a lot lately. It's something that I've been using a lot, and just pretty decent trade overall, especially on the open. Besides that, had a pretty decent core. I held out to these little moves. Finally sold some, and I sold, I believe, my last lot when the 20-cent drops. There's a little pullback here, a little resistance. Finally sold some here, and then the rest, I believe, probably below here is probably my worst price. Again, 61 was a level. And again, lately what I've been seeing with strong stocks where it pulls back. This thing was up like 10% already, maybe more at this point. And it pulls back, and then you think it's forming a bear flag right below support level. What I've been noticing lately is that it looks like a support, it looks like resistance, it looks like a bear flag, but it's not something you want to short when there's something very, very strong. If you want to, you could probably try to get short if it breaks a little trend line. But these, what I've been realizing lately, is they're just pullbacks right below the support level, kind of basing before they make new highs. I didn't capitalize in this trade because I did pretty well on that. I didn't really like those bear flag below support, even though it was really just a base below support. And then some other trades I made, tried buying the 60 support, hit out and dropped, and then finally towards the end of the day, a little before 3 o'clock, there was a seller at 80 cents here, got short in front of it, got out when it lifted. Probably should have paid when it lifted. Flip actually for a decent trade up to this 20-cent resistance area in the morning. But that's about it. Pretty much scratching all the stocks except for Lulu for profit today. Does anyone have any questions, anything you want me to go over? Question, comments, concerns before I go over the actual tape stuff on Lulu? Alrighty. So we're going to keep focus on this box. For some reason this market maker doesn't really show the ticks. Kind of sucks, but at least you have the 1 minute chart. Let's fast forward to 30 and then we'll go from there. Alright, so rewind it for a couple seconds. Alright, the market just opened at this point. Remember, we're going to keep an eye on the 60 level. That was an important level all day long. Keep an eye on the bids and the offers, and just go from there. I'm just watching now. Remember, I got along as a pre-market support level, and then I was going to hit out if it actually held and did some volume below 60. But the offer, you see how the offer would go down and quickly go back up. That was really convincing that it was weak, especially after being up 12% right off the open on whatever news it was. I believe it was they raised the outlook. And you see the 60 drops below, the offer drops below 60, but it doesn't really do that much volume. And I believe I was buying a little bit here. And finally, when the bid went up to 60, which will show in a little bit, I ended up getting longer. But right here you see 80 white prints, 79, did some volume on the bid, 78, keep watching, 78, 78, 79, 80, 80 on the bid, 79, 80. See all these 80 white prints? That's pretty interesting to me. So it shows there's kind of a buy there in the 80 level. Yeah, by this point it's already below 60 and has been holding below 60. But again, that 80 level has been doing a little bit of volume. Let's just keep watching and see what happens. Alright, so 60s has some pretty decent amount of offers. So you would think it would hold there, but no, they get taken with ease. Bid steps up to 60 without a problem. To me, that is a sign of strength, just because, oh yeah, see now it's a bunch of 60 red prints on the bid, doesn't drop. Alright, so to me, that's that's showing that it's strong. It dropped, yeah, it held a little bit below 60. Now you see 60s repeating on the bid, just holding there, just not dropping. You see, it goes down, yet it went to that 80, 79 level. Had a bunch of white prints, and it held there. It couldn't really go below that. I believe at that point I was getting long, and my stop was actually the low of the day. Especially I really like that 79, 80 level. So we're gonna keep watching. It has a nice little run up 60. Now we know 60 bought a bunch. The levels are 80 and like 79. So you get long in front of that level. You get out below 60 or below 70 if you want to give it more room. Maybe on your core you can give it to below 70, or if it holds below 60 again. And then you see it go up to 33s, 33 doing a little volume, holding the bid. Again, higher, new highs. Not new pre-market highs, just new highs for that moment. So I believe that was 33 and 34, a bunch of white prints. 32s, 29, 27. Now, see the offers there, 35, 36, 35, 36, kind of holding there. Now the offers below the 30 level, the 32, 33 area where they were buying. Again, back to 60. 60's holding, 60's holding. 61. So at that point you see, okay, 60's holding, 60's holding. Yeah, you could pay 05s, 04s, or you could try to get in front of it, get out if it drops. 3s, 60. See how much size you're taking in at 60, not dropping. Again, going with the 20s, 21s. Down to a 6 or 4. And another thing with intraday trading, especially right off the open on something like this, is you got to be very, very quick on the keyboard. I'm very, very quick on the keyboard. When I see something, I could easily, and enter exit trades. I can go throw out an offer 5, 10, 15, 20 cents, 25 cents within a second if I have to. Just 'cause you gotta capitalize right and right when you see these moves. So we're gonna go back up to 20, 29. Remember that 33 area was where it held a little bit and then actually dropped. 25, 19, 24, 25, 23. Alright, big print there at 24, 22 offer. You see how 22 is kind of holding 23, 18, 16, see 16 holds, 16 drop your bid, 15, 14, 16 offer. Probably should go lower. Yeah. 6. Alright, so you got 60 again, taking a bunch of size on the bid. $14. 10. 11. So 10 kind of held a little bit. So right now, we're holding above the 60. 10 still holding. $35. 22 is a level earlier. 19, 13. 5s. See how it went down to 05 and quickly got rejected and back up to mid-20s. That I found pretty interesting just by the speed of it. 13. 17, 18, 15. 14. Alright, so by this point you see that 60 has been tested a bunch of times. It's having some difficulty holding above 20, and especially 25. It has a little bit of resistance there, and in the 30 area. 25. Now 25 is holding the offer. Couldn't lift there. 25 doing a bunch of prints. 24 white prints. 220 short stock. Fails 25. Now 11 was a little area, and so it's 10. Let's see if it goes there and holds. 17, 12, 02. 02. Alright, see those 02 prints. That is pretty interesting how it wasn't on the bill, it was just white prints. 14, 15. 08, 5, 3. Alright, so now you're seeing 05 do a little bit of volume there. The bid. Let me pause it. See, the bid, it was at 60, right? And you would see how it would step up a little bit, at higher prices and kind of, do a little bit of volume and then drop. But now you're kind of seeing 05s do a little bit of volume. You're seeing a little, you're seeing 05s do a little bit of volume. You're seeing a couple white prints there. So that to me I find pretty interesting because now the guy, it's only 5 cents. It's not that much. Where you could probably move your stop up to this 05 drops and kind of holds there, and you start seeing 60 print very fast. Then you could probably hit out, and yeah, 60 holds. You made a small profit if your average was 60, or scratch, or you made a small loss if your average like 8 cents. But I find that pretty interesting because now 05s are kind of getting a little bit stacked. Not too much, a couple hundred shares. 05s, 04, 03 drops, and then boom. Right there, it quickly dropped, and that's when it went all the way, I believe, to like the 50 cent mark, 55. 73, and then quickly went to rebid above 60. And like I've been saying for the past couple weeks, this is what I call the rebid, where it quickly dropped below the price, went back up to 60. The bid quickly up to 60, went down, did some O2 prints on the bid. But now you see the offer is still above 60, 60.03. The bid's below there. So again, if you see the bid step up to the 60 mark, see this 60 can't really hold below so far. So to me, once I see the bid step up to 60 and kind of hold a little bit, maybe do a little bit of volume, then see right there. Then to me it's a tell they should go higher because they just shook out all the weekends. The guy's trying to accumulating it at that 60 level. Definitely just everyone that was out below 60, he just accumulated all that stock. Now it's free to run. And then from that point, it went to it made a nice move to 60.80. So I'll fast forward to 60.80. Eventually a high of the day of, I don't know, maybe 62.20, just off that little move. So that was kind of how I traded it, the stuff that I saw there. Again, that 60, it was tricky. That I didn't expect it to fully, drop that much. I lied. I kind of did expect it, and it was just kind of something I saw. Okay, the bid's holding up, higher. It did some volume 60. Again, had a buyer here, held bid up here, and then this little area is where we saw some buying, and then again to 60 we saw a little buying around the 10-cent area. Again, the hole. Again, now you see right here, like I was saying, saw some bids at the 05. It quickly dropped, did a little bit of volume at 03, and then just sliced through it, right? So the longer it consolidated here, like I said, I like the little bounce. I found it interesting because it shows that like the stock at that level is getting snapped up very quickly. So clearly rejected, but it was there kind of consolidating. Had a little bit of held offers. That 05 guy that was kind of accumulating drop. That was kind of my tell. Granted, I still had some stock into this move, which is my core, and I did hit out in like the 60s, which sucked, but it wasn't too bad because I was doing these little scalps here and there in this 20-cent zone. But yeah, it came, it dropped, rebidded, bid held above 60, and then had a huge run. So I call that out. Hopefully you guys caught the trade as well. But that's about it for the Lulu tape that I have that I'm reviewing for. I don't know if you